it's been a pretty bad week to be a Rakai fan at the moment, as it seems like Ironmouse is continuing to prove a lot of the haters wrong, especially with some recent data that has came in, and it seems like she's doing absolutely amazingly. If you guys know, she recently had her birthday stream where she debuted a new model, but it seems like her and many other VTubers are doing great in the space, as much to the despise of some of the top streamers in the space, right? For example, we've seen Lacey going after Neurosama, XQC going after Dokibird, Rakai going after Ironmouse, right? It's becoming a little bit of a trend at the moment for a top streamer to be going after a VTuber, but they're not going to be very happy with how VTubers is doing at the moment in terms of the streams charts. Now, obviously, they put out their own kind of 2025, almost like a recap, I guess, of the top VTubers for 2025 last year by watch time and peak viewers, and it's pretty good to see because it seems like VTubers are doing absolutely amazingly. Now, obviously, they do include the Burnt Peanut here as the #1 as the most watched VTuber in 2025. And obviously, there's been a big debate surrounding whether he's actually a VTuber or not. Again, I don't really think so to some degree, but as I said, it's debated. You know, people can kind of argue about that if they want, but yeah, they've decided to include them in here. And you can see the top English speaking, VTuber, at least in the VTubing space, right? In the VTubing kind of community, as I'd like to say. Obviously, I know it's not really a whole community, but you get what I mean. Like actually interacting with VTubers and kind of engaging with VTuber culture, right? Being Ironmouse. Ironmouse is technically #1 in that field in terms of English speaking VTubers, like actual VTubers in the VTuber, space. Which I think is great. And obviously people are going to be very, very disappointed by that. Also, not to mention that there are so many other great VTubers out here, including Sakura, Miko, Pekora, Kuzuha, and again, so many others, right, on this list in the JP space. So VTubing has been extremely popular there. And this is based on the most watched, right? This isn't based on peak views or anything. This is based on who has been watched the most. And obviously that can depend on how much they stream and stuff as well. So I think frequency of stream can also affect this quite a bit. So yeah, obviously that is the kind of statistics that have been going on. I think it's been pretty obvious as we've seen a lot of the quarterly posts made by stream charts about it. I mean, Sakura Miko was up there for a very long time. So was Pekora, to the point where they were actually overtaking a lot of the top female creators on the platform. You know, whenever they do the most watched female creators thing, we looked at it the other day, they were actually like overtaking all of them to the point where they had to make a new category being top female streamers, excluding VTubers. That's how big they are. That's how absolutely insane they are doing. And it is really great to see that all of these VTubers are doing really great at the moment. And obviously there are a couple of male VTubers in there too. But again, we can keep on going. So top of the list is the fast rising Burnt Peanut, who emerged as a serious player in the space in 2025, culminating in a best VTuber win at the prestigious Streamer Awards 2025. I wouldn't really call it prestigious, but yeah, they say he multi-streamed on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube for much of these 12 months. So again, I don't know if they're counting all of his viewership or if they're counting just one platform, but you got to kind of, factor in here that this dude is multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, and YouTube and gets a pretty decent amount of viewership in all of them, right? I say decent, a crazy amount of viewership in all of them. Compared to, obviously, if you look, Sakura Miko is only about 10 million off, right? Only about 10 million off, and she only streams on YouTube. So, again, I think that's a pretty impressive thing for Sakura Miko, and also for Pekora, and also pretty much everybody else in this list to be up there with him, because, again, he's been multi-streaming. He's been getting a lot of views on multiple platforms, which also gets added up to his entire tally. So, yeah, I mean, people are saying second is Sakura Miko, who just got ahead of Pekora as the rivals continued to be among the most famous VTubers globally. The two hololive agency members had identical numbers across the board, although it was Miko whose watch time enjoyed a higher year-on-year rise of 66%. So, yeah, obviously that is great. And they go into detail about a lot of the other VTubers in the list, which... Again, I think it is great that stream charts do this kind of, thing, because it really does let us know what is going on with VTubers at the moment. And I do hope they do their usual analytic breakdown, because sometimes they do one where they like split it up by like, which agency is doing the best, who's the most watch agency, which I think is really cool and is independent, obviously doing well, etc. And how much is VTubing viewership in general going up or down. Hopefully they will add that for like a quarter 4 review, because they've just done the yearly one, but I hope they do have a quarter 4 one too, because they usually do that with some extra kind of information. And obviously, yeah, you can see most watched VTubers. And again, I'm just so happy that, Ironmouse has done so well on this, competing with a lot of all of these people here. And again, she is probably, one of the top streamers in the EN space, top VTubers in the EN space, which obviously is going to be very, very annoying for a lot of the Rakai fans out there who have been hating on her for the past couple of months, especially with a lot of the song kind of harassment, all of that kind of stuff that we talked about on this channel, and now she is, top 10 VTubers are in 2025, which I think is crazy. And I think obviously some people are going to be molding at that one. We've got the most popular VTubers in 2025, which this is also a pretty insane one, which I kind of wanted to cover too, because they talk about, I think this is by peak viewership. So this is the most viewed streamed. So again, it doesn't necessarily mean they've been consistent in viewership, but they've had a stream that has done super, super well at one point, and they've gotten the most amount of viewers on it. And a lot of the time, this does tend to be big events. For example, a graduation, a debut, a return, etc., etc., etc. Obviously, for example, Ruru Suzahara obviously returned. So that was going to be a really big stream. Now, is she pulling in 269,000 viewers every single stream? No, but it is a debut. Oh, I say a debut. It's like a return debut, whatever you want to call it. So you're going to expect a very high viewership for the, all of that. Obviously, Kanata graduating again. That was a really big event too. But what I kind of wanted to kind of focus in on, if you can see, obviously it's blocking up here. I'll just zoom in here. You can see Gorgura in 7th place, obviously due to the graduation and everything like that, I'm pretty sure. And then you've got Saba in 10th place. And, obviously, we'd have to beat around the bush here. It's the same person. It's the indie debut of Saba. Although I think Saba did get more viewers than that. Maybe it wasn't in 2025. No, what? I don't know. I feel like she got more than 201, but that's what they've registered on this, apparently. But it is crazy because the same person has managed to end up 7th and 10th on one list, which I think is crazy, right? For the most popular VTubers. Like, bro, imagine the kind of, you're literally the goat of the space if you can manage to finish in 2 places in a top 10 chart for peak viewership on streaming, right? It's crazy. And obviously, yeah, great for Saba, and I hope that she does come back soon. I know she's been struggling with a lot of hiatus stuff at the moment, so again, I'll keep you guys up to date if anything comes out about her returning. But yeah, as I said, it is crazy because you got them there with 229,000 and then 200,000 on the return. So yeah, I mean, it is really, really great to see that VTubers are doing so well. I mean, these metrics are absolutely insane, at 49.3 million, 47.5 million, and it will be very interesting to see the, the actual analytics behind VTubers in general, in terms of how well indie VTubers doing, how well certain agencies are doing, what kind of platforms are VTubers using at the moment. Obviously, as you can see, it is mostly YouTube gaming or YouTube live, whatever they call it now, that is the most top used by VTubers. I don't think it is the best one if you're starting out as a VTuber. I think the best kind of way to go is Twitch, and also kind of promoting that on platforms like TikTok and YouTube Shorts. And then you can like maybe move over to it, maybe do some multi-streaming as well, if that's what you really want to try out too. I don't know if it's the best for kind of people starting out, because I think the discovery isn't as good as, yeah, something on Twitch, right? But hey, you can always try it out, see if it works. And also, if you already have an audience on places like YouTube, for example, you make YouTube videos or YouTube Shorts and you gain a lot of subscribers from that, then maybe actually, that could be a good idea to stream on YouTube instead, because people will join because they're already subscribed. They'll get that notification like they do for your videos, and they'll come on and join. So I think, yeah, either way, it's pretty good. It seems like a lot of the kind of agency-focused streamers, though, do tend to stream on YouTube gaming. Also, I do find it interesting here. They say most watched VTubers in 2025. I feel like they've got that wrong, no? Because Ironmouse is listed here as YouTube, although I'm pretty sure Ironmouse streams on Twitch. Last time I checked, she streams on Twitch. So again, I do think there is a little bit of information that might be incorrect in terms of the stream charts. Maybe they took this from her, maybe that is the kind of analytics for her YouTube. I'm unsure. I don't know. I don't know if that is something that maybe needs to be looked into by, you know, by stream charts, because again, she doesn't stream on YouTube last time I checked. Obviously, you know, all the streams I watch have been on Twitch, and I feel like she's more predominant on Twitch, but maybe they just messed up with the logo and they just didn't really realize it. And I hope that is just the kind of analytics from her Twitch and not her YouTube, because yeah, that would have been bad if they did take it from something else, because it would have been much less, right? Yeah, again, I don't think they really update it here either. So yeah, we'll have to see if there is any kind of changes made to the article, but I do think it is very interesting, right? And I'm sure that they have gotten all of the kind of analytics right, just, you know, not kind of made the graphic correctly. I guess it can be pretty hard, especially when you're dealing with a lot of platforms, like for example the Burnt Peanut with Twitch, Kick, and YouTube, and then you got to, like, you know, figure out which one they're on. For example, like Kane here, they've done Twitch and YouTube, so I don't know, maybe they just messed up. I think that is just a small little mess up, but it is interesting though. But at the end of the day, I just kind of wanted to highlight this because I thought it was nice to see, one, VTubers doing very, very well and being very, very successful in the space, and two, obviously, haters of Ironmouse kind of getting, I guess, shut down by a lot of the kind of analytics that are coming out at the moment, with her performing even better than before, ever since a lot of the hate and stuff. Kind of proving that a lot of this isn't really getting to her channel or anything. This isn't something that is affecting her viewership. If anything, her viewership's only getting better. And I'm pretty sure it's due to a lot of the haters and stuff, you know, using her song, using her content, talking about her. And then people that actually do kind of enjoy that content, or would be a person who would be interested in Ironmouse, right, will then go and watch them. Like, they'll see that she's getting hated on. They'll find out what she's about, enjoy her content, and then start watching it. And I think that is exactly why she has done so well as well, ever since this kind of big boom of hatred that has gone towards her. So again, great for her, and also great for many of the other VTubers listed on this list as well. I'm really glad to see that they are, you know, doing great, you know, and they're the most watched VTuber in 2025, and hopefully we will get some more analytics soon from stream charts about the other kind of perspective of, you know, indies and different agencies and stuff, because I do find that super, super interesting too. But yeah, that's essentially all I got for this video. If you guys did enjoy it, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.